Hey guys, Jason Timothy here, musicsoftwaretraining.com. And if you're watching me on Facebook, welcome from the Facebook group. If you're watching me on YouTube, excellent. Wanted to remind you guys that Wednesday I have a free groove workshop coming up. Now, what's a groove workshop? Basically, I'm going to show you how to improve your music production by being able to hear and break down all the little details that make up a fantastic groove for a song. And without these little details, your song's just not going to have that expensive sound, I guess would be the best way to put it. So I wanted to make this quick video just to kind of share with you one of my tracks to show you how I layer certain sounds up. You know, that much of this might sound like one or two sounds, and there's a lot more going on than you think. And it's really important for you to understand this, because when you go into creating your own songs, you really got to build that groove so it sounds complete. And in order to make a groove that sounds complete, you need to understand what other producers are doing. You need to be able to reverse engineer and really hear all the little details and layers that make up one groove. Because if you think that it's just like one perfect kick, one perfect snare, one perfect hi-hat, and so forth, you're really missing out on a great opportunity to make incredible sounding grooves. I'm not saying there are no songs that have one of each, but most of the time in electronic music, you're layering your sounds to get that just right sort of vibe. So I wanted to break down and show you what's going on in one of my tracks, just to kind of show you how I layer sounds, okay? So if we come over here, now you might want to wear headphones, or if you've got a good pair of speakers, you will probably want to use that instead of your computer monitors, because you're just not going to hear that much detail, and you're going to miss all the low end as well. So let me just show you what's going on here. Let's go ahead and start with the kick drum. So we've got this sound here. All right, so sounds kind of like just one kick, you know, with a couple little off kick patterns happening that create this part. But actually it's 5 parts and 6 different layers that make up this kick drum. So let me just kind of show you each layer here. We've got this sound. This is just a double up of that at a lower volume. And we have this here. Just very low volume extra accent, which is actually the same sample as well. And then we've got this sample drum that I've added. And then finally, we've got this other sample. And if we take a look at some of the separate sounds, this one is just kind of as is. This one here, as you can see, we've used some EQ. This here, we've used the drum bus on this, drum bus on this as well. And this here is just kind of like a boom of some sort, right? Kind of like a long 808 sort of sound. So this kick is made of all these sounds put together. So it's not just one sound, it's taking elements of several sounds to make one solid sound that is satisfying. So if I add these one at a time, you can hear how it enhances the sound of the kick. All right. So next, I'll show you what's going on in the hi-hats. A lot going on here. So definitely if you're just using one or two hi-hats, you might be missing out on an opportunity to do quite a bit more with your groove. So here's what we got happening. All right, so what is going on here? We've got a reverse sound here, which is actually two sounds put together to make one reverse sound here. And I'll separate these two. And then this sound here. All right, so those two sounds make up what sounds like one sound here. And we've got this part here. As you can see, just this one sound has a whole lot going on effects-wise and everything, with delays and reverb and drum bus, a little bit of panning, sidechain compression, a lot of stuff happening to make this work within the groove. Next sound is this here. And this has like a stereo widener happening here, which I basically just use a delay and set it to time and space this out several milliseconds, and then it sounds like it's going really wide. This is something that I didn't show you in the original groove, but I'll just show you the extra shaker going on there. Next we have kind of the main hi-hat. And then we have these extra shaker parts. So we have this here. Like that. And then a little percussive part. And then all together, so this is an example of using layers to really build a groove that sounds professional, sounds expensive, and really it's the type of details that labels really listen for when they are looking to sign tracks of things, because they know intuitively what's going to work on a dance floor and what's not. And the one with the most engaging groove is usually the one that's going to win, with a few exceptions happening. Not to say that simple parts can't also win the dance floor, but when it's a simple part, you really have to get that perfect sound with every little element. Otherwise, it's just not going to come together in that infectious way. So once again, inviting you to Wednesday, my free groove workshop. It will be, I think it's going to be at noon Mountain Time and like 11 Pacific Time. But you'll be able to see when you click on the link the specific time, either 11 or 12 my time. So yeah, please join me for that. I think you'll get a whole lot out of it. We're really going to break down a groove and reverse engineer it so that you understand just by listening what you would need to do to inject that into your own grooves. So if that sounds cool to you, I'll see you on Wednesday. Take care, guys.